Listen, if I speak, they'll shut down this YouTube. So
I said that she needs 5 minutes alone.
Alone. Take it to church.
Okay, I have 3. Now let me say it because I know you're gonna say.
That's what we're doing.
Steven always does this. I don't know why I forget.
It is absolutely beautiful.
Yo, what's good, guys? Welcome back to the NNESAGA channel, the only place you want to be for all things TV, film, anything that is everything is right here. We are joined by the amazing NNESAGA team. I'm not just talking about myself, of course.
Stephen Keith face over here. Yep.
And it's your girl Tyra in there.
And we all got the chance to watch Black Adam early. Big thank you to Warner Bros for the opportunity to see it early. Where do we even begin? Where do we even begin?
I think we should at least get our general thoughts just out of the way. What was everyone's initial reaction to the movie? T, what was yours?
Well, I enjoyed it. I think as a person who has had issues with DC films in the past, this is definitely one of the ones I can say that I enjoyed, that I would recommend, and I would watch again. I think we'll get more into it later, but in terms of, I think the third act was probably one of my favorites in the film overall. It did kind of drag at some points, but the third act definitely made up for it. Loved The Rock as Black Adam. I have my favorite character, which again we'll get into, but overall I enjoyed it, and I'll definitely recommend people to go see it.
Well, this is the greatest movie ever by
bias.
No, but yo, listen, I've waited over 10-15 years for this movie to come to life, and The Rock delivered. I've been saying it, I can't even. I understand everyone has their opinions on Dwayne Johnson, his acting, and how he performs. He's very one-dimensional, and I feel like with all actors and actresses and with their career and stuff, sometimes it just takes multiple movies to get to that movie that really kind of not establishes you, but really kind of not, I guess, makes everyone makes you think that, makes you the serious kind of thing, if that makes sense. So everyone now kind of treats you with that utmost respect. He's been a fan favorite for me since I was young, since I was watching wrestling and stuff like that. So I've always paid a close attention to his story and his journey from WWE to Hollywood. And I just felt like you can just tell he gave it his all this was a project for him that he's been fighting for, and you can see it through and through in this movie. It was not perfect, but we'll get into, the ins and outs, what I loved, what I didn't love. But like I said, I'm going to say it again, let The Rock lead DC going forward.
Well, I'm going to take off my critic glasses off for a second. I did enjoy this film. It was fun. It was everything that I thought it was going to be, and even more. I put back my critic glasses back on. Some problems with the film, the script probably could have done more work, but we'll go into more deals of why I didn't think it was perfect, but definitely a fun movie for everyone to watch, whether you're a fan of DC or not a fan of DC. I think everyone will definitely enjoy this movie.
Absolutely, 100%.
So, as you mentioned, the story and the plot, Steph, I'll go to you, being the big DC fan, big Black Adam fan. What are your thoughts about the story and the plot and how it kind of unfolded?
So, we're putting our big boy pants on, our big boy critic pants and glasses. So let me remove all of that for now, and let me just be a critic. It wasn't the best story. I've read the Black Adam comics growing up and stuff like that, and obviously as of recently they have kind of changed his origin. Don't get me wrong, they did well to retell it, and because it can be it can be like a very great area when it comes to translating comic book origin story to the big screen cinema whilst having your own spin to it. And don't get me wrong, I loved it, absolutely loved it. However, there were certain moments in the movie where it kind of fell through a little bit for me. And sometimes it took a while to kind of take off when it came to those punchy moments that we needed. Like, we got the blood, we got the action, we got some of the, like you said, Stephen, some of the scripting needed a bit of work. I felt like moments where they could have explored a bit more vulnerability, even though there was those moments of vulnerability there, I feel like they could have pushed it a little bit more. And I think it was between the second and third act. Obviously, this is very, very light spoilers, but second and third act, you know, as you know, or as many people may or not know, he does get, you know, captured again. Well, he actually surrenders himself, and he obviously has to say the word Shazam in order to turn into Black Adam. So even though we kind of knew he was going to come back anyways, I felt like when you want to have those moments like that, when they're trying to do that, you know, 360 U-turn, it didn't land as well as it should have, because when they picked it back up, when he was, you know, now returning to Black Adam, oh, that was incredible, you know what I mean? But it was that when he was kind of surrendering himself, it wasn't smooth.
The story, as I said, definitely needs more work. They had this real issue with the origin story. They tried to do these like fake outs like a couple of times, and I was just like, can we just have one origin story? It didn't do nothing for the story, but I get they were trying to do something with it. It didn't always work all the time. I did enjoy the first act and the second act. The third act for me kind of just fell apart. It was like the same kind of DC stuff you expected, in explosions. A unforgettable character comes up as well, and like I said, I think the story could have just had a little bit more work. But like I said, everything else was fine with me. This is for those who are hardcore DC fans. This is not potentially your Black Adam that you grew up on. This is The Rock's version. They might as well just call this guy The Rock. He's not Black Adam. He's just somebody else. And I was hoping something else would happen, because we've had other movies where they mention someone, and I just hope they could have potentially turned up, but they didn't.
But then wouldn't that be so much in one movie though, especially in the first?
At least a mention or a clip. Like, it didn't have to, certain people didn't have to turn up.
So I'm separate from you guys, as in I didn't know Black Adam's story. I never read the comic, so I come at it at a different angle. I think for someone who was new to it, and
I cannot believe. I should have worn my t-shirt. If that's what we're doing.
Stephen always does this. I don't know why I forget. Stephen always has props, always has a t-shirt or something to I hate it. So yeah, anyway, as I said, yeah, so for someone who didn't know like the origin and who comes at like a fresh eye, like you guys said, the storyline it wasn't smooth at times, but I think where it had that little twist, I wouldn't say what it was, it could have had just a little bit more depth. I like storylines that have more depth, that have more of like and I'm like, okay, cool, I understand or I get it. I think it could have just gone a little bit more deeper. As it's his first film as origin, I think it's a good leg to stand on, and then they can work their way up. Because like Steph said, if they put too much in one film, where are they going to go next, or what are they going to show us next?
How did everyone feel about these characters? Because there were some interesting ones, some undeveloped, I think, but good performances overall, I think. But who were the highlights for you guys?
My highlight was definitely Dr. Fate.
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't say something else, but okay.
I have
take it to church.
Okay, I have three. No, not that you said it, because I know you're going to say.
Where's my chocolate bar?
Dr.
Don't
Fate.
listen. If I speak, they'll shut down this YouTube. So
I said that she needs 5 minutes alone.
Alone. Bonks, put the tweet up. Alone.
5 minutes. No, but Dr. Fate is one of my favorites in the film because he's just so smooth. The way every time he just came on the screen, he would talk. He just like for a white old man, he's like, I would look at him like I want him to be my granddad. Like, he's just so.
No, guys. Did you see the way he was holding his helmet? Let's.
Guys, you guys need a moment here, because we're going over a topic.
He would just stand there with his helmet, and that's it. That's it. Movie done. That's it.
Swagger. He really came and delivered. So I love him for that. One of my other favorites as well was Cyclone. I think her when she was like in her element, it just looked very beautiful and just very like just gliding through the air, especially as a Black woman. Just like, yes, girl, do your thing, show them your nice luscious hair, everything. She was just, her performance for me was just like, and I feel like Black girls will look up to her and be like, you know, I could do that or whatever. I said she was definitely one of my favorites. Say again? Amazing,
like just the way, like the way she glided, and yeah.
Hawkman for obvious reasons. But yeah, no, I felt he was a good leader as well. Not just even how he looks, like he was a good leader. He was very adamant of the whole
how he looks.
Good, not just because he had depth. The whole good versus evil.
Where do I begin? Where do I begin? Top three, obviously, they all had like their own amazing things. First and foremost, Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam, born to play that role, legit. I was watching an interview, and normally when you know they're wearing a superhero suits, they have padding. His thing was not padding.
Jesus.
That he
No,
how can you look like how can you look like Black Adam without do you get it? Like, I think it was deep.
No CGI. No CGI.
No CGI. No CGI. I felt like Dwayne, you can just, like I said, the blood, sweat, and tears, the passion that went into him playing Tef Adams was incredible. Like an incredible performance. And I know critics are going to be like X, Y, and Z, but it's not a perfect movie. Bearing in mind, this is probably Dwayne Johnson's like first really big budgeted, all hands in. He had his production team and everything like that. So for him to do that whilst now acting on top, there's layers to it. I think that's what us as fans, whether you're a huge diehard DC fan, you're just a fan of movies, you're just a fan of being there, will appreciate more. And I feel like even when, you know, The Rock was exploring Tef's like backstory, how he became who he is and why he is how he is, and, you know, some of the actions that he would take and the consequences. And this is somebody where when he means that he's the protector, whether people like it or not. And he really made you question your morality. And I think that's something which you want viewers to also be on that journey with you when it comes to emotion. I loved Hawkman, Aldous Hodge, like big up him. How he portrayed, like you said, like a leader, you know, as Hawkman. Second and foremost, we got a beautiful rich black man. Let's you know, they didn't even, do you not see his mansion? No, let's do you know what I mean? And like I said, Hawkman, he was incredible. Loved his fight scenes, loved the chemistry he had between, you know, the JSA, but more importantly with Dr. Fate and with, you know, Black Adam. He really embodied what Hawkman is, and I'm really excited to see how they explore Hawkman. And obviously, how can we forget Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate? Incredible. Like, whoever was behind that casting, give them a raise. How can you find somebody as perfect as him? And even when, and for some reason, it came to points where, like, I even preferred him when he wasn't even in his suit. Do you know what I mean? Like, incredible. Obviously, loved Cyclone. Quintessa, they really brought life to a character which a lot of people may or may not know. Just how beautifully they delivered Cyclone as a character. So I'm really happy to see how that explores. And you know what? Bless Noah. He was annoying in the movie, but he tried. I know I was meant to pick top three, but these aren't the top three, but these are people who I felt like done well anyway.
Yeah.
Besides basically none of the characters being comic accurate, so all my hardcore DC fans really try to just put the comic books to the side and just go in.
But you know what? I understand it's not going to be like deep comic book, but they really portrayed it well. I'll be real.
They did a real good job with what they were given. Like I said, some characters were really undeveloped, but they were strong performances. Obviously, The Rock was phenomenal. I loved him. He did a good job of balancing being menacing as well as charismatic throughout this whole movie.
Yeah.
Hawkman, I really enjoyed his, you know, audition role to be in Wakanda movie in his outfits and all sorts. I mean, you look good in the suits and and obviously did a good job of obviously being the leader of the group and having a real good chemistry between, you know, there was some really good comedic action between him and The Rock. I thought that was good. And obviously Dr. Fate, who isn't comic accurate, which really got on my nerves a little bit, but we'll go into that for another talk. But like I said, did a really good job as well, and I thought he was charming throughout the movie. But yeah, Hollywood has that problem of, you know, if the character we have to play that has to wear a mask, the mask is always off, so you can see their face because, you know, they paid dollars to have a movie. But yeah,
I felt like the villain, I'll be so real. Yes, that, you know, the villain is a Black Adam, you know, villain, but like I felt like we didn't really need him. You know, that's just my thing.
Yeah, I didn't care for the villain.
Me neither.
I just really wish these films next time when they have, you know, an anti-hero / villain in these movies, they make them a villain.
What did we actually love about this movie?
I mean, as much as I don't feel like mentioning him, but Black Adam, I like you said, I like The Rock as Black Adam. I was trying to think if, like, controversial question, if you could think of anyone else to play Black Adam, and I don't think I can. Like, there's no one in my brain that would give it what The Rock gave, or Dwayne Johnson gave, should I say. So yeah, he was definitely one of my highlights for it. I love the seeing his powers. I'm always about seeing how superheroes or villains' powers, like how they use it and how it comes about in a film. I definitely enjoyed that from him. At one point, I was like, I think I was trying to see how, like, he was going too fast at one point. I was like, please, my eyes. Hello. I get it, but maybe slow down sometimes.
Yeah, I think for me, it's definitely the action. Action is what's going to keep the audience engaged throughout the whole time. And I thought they used slow motion. I thought I was going to get annoyed with that, but it actually worked for me throughout the whole time. I was surprised by that. And the soundtrack and the score. I need to find the score on vinyl. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm a score head, so when I hear a good score, I need to just go back and listen again. So I really enjoyed those moments, and like I said, I did enjoy the chemistry between certain characters, which I thought really worked, and the after credits, which I won't say is probably
until later on. Yeah.
One of the best things I've seen this year. I was so gassed, and so kudos to them, and like I said, I am looking forward to see what they do after that.
What I loved the most is that he listened to the fans first for this movie. You can tell that with everything that goes on with DC and stuff like that, this is a movie where it was super refreshing to see that finally we have a movie where there is some input from the fans, the lovers of, DC comics, the lovers of the Black, Adam lineage and stuff like that, and somebody who actually cares. This movie is exploring the JSA, We're so used to the Justice League, like, hey, like, let's go into this new territory of DC Comics, Before the Justice League, we had the JSA, and we're definitely going to get a sequel. Like, you can leave this movie with knowing that they're definitely going to get a sequel, with this whole thing coming out. And of course, who wouldn't want to admit the post-credit scene? Like, that is when you can tell that if there's anyone that can influence Warner Bros, DC Comics, that the whole infrastructure is Dwayne Johnson. Like, there's nobody else that can do what he did in that post-credit scene but him. So happy Black History Month.
I love it. Okay, that's what we love. So what did you guys hate about it?
Oh boy.
How much time? We ain't gonna have much time.
How much time? Wrap it up.
Ready? Should I go in?
Wrap it up.
You want the clip notes?
30 seconds, wrap it up.
Right. Firstly, we really spoke about it for the story. The story doesn't work. The origin twist that they tried to do, M. Night Shyamalan style, didn't work at all. I thought just go straight in with the story, keep it precise. The timing took too long. I was looking at my watch towards the end. Some of the CGI towards the end, I don't know whether they run out of budget. Money was running out. It looked a bit towards the end. The performances, even though I did enjoy them overall, as I said, it is not comic book accurate. And for those who are the hardcore DC fans, like I said, you have to really, really try to just go in and say, you know what, this is not my comic book that I've read over the years. This is The Rock's version of the character as well as the other characters. So some people might have a problem with that. And yeah, man, the villain just like I said, he didn't know me, but it was just very forgetful.
There's not much that I did not like. I hated. I think the villain was just quite lackluster. I felt like if we removed the villain, we still would have still got a good movie. Honestly and truly. I think that's just my main gripe. The villain itself. Maybe the villain could have came in maybe a potential Black Adam 2 when it was more fleshed out, or a teaser into Black Adam 2. Do you know what I mean? Not to just, obviously, yes, we all had the big bads in different, each of the movies and stuff like that. But I don't know, it was just underwhelming for me, There was small pacing issues, but it rectified itself. And I think that's it for me, really.
So for me, I would agree with the villain. And I said he was, like you guys said, a bit lackluster. He wasn't someone I was rooting for on the sly. He just was like, he just came to do what he did and he left. The Storyline as well could have had more depth to it. But you know who I disliked in this film, and we didn't need in this film? The brother of.
Oh, I liked him.
He was I
You know what? I feel like it was forcing it. They were trying to have the funny sidekick.
Yeah.
And I get it. You need that person. Hold on, you need that person that does the one-liners. But it's like, guys, it's like almost everything he said was a one-liner. It's like I just wanted more of a like monologue from him if he was gonna be that.
Yeah. Good point.
The film, basically. So I was just like, yeah, we get it. You're funny, or trying to be funny. So he annoyed me. I mean, I wouldn't say I hated him, but he just annoyed me a tad, and I was just like, okay.
So overall, we've heard our goods, we've heard our bads. What is your overall, score and your overall opinion about this movie?
For me,
I was gonna say 4 out of 10. I said,
Steph kicked me out of it. This will be my last day.
Steph
will say thank you for your services.
Faster than I will right click you. Right, you're gone.
No, okay, for me, as I said, someone who's not like a massive DC fan or DC comic book fan, so I'm coming in with like fresh eyes and seeing it as a like superhero film. I still enjoyed it. Storyline is enough for you to follow and enough for you to get into it and then be excited to see what's next. Overall, for that, and I love Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam, and then the other superheroes as well. So for me, I would definitely give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
solid rating.
For me, well, let's so I am a hardcore Black Adam fan. I love the whole lore, the other characters, the other heroes that's supposed to be in his universe. That may appear or not appear. I love it all. Like I said, this film is not exactly comic book accurate, but average audience won't know what the hell is going on. But they are going to have a real good time. I definitely had a good time with the movie. I said the third part of the movie kind of falls apart, but it does save itself with The Rock's charismatic acting in this movie. He really put the film on his shoulders. He's a big guy. He can definitely do it. And I just had a real good time with this. And the after credits, man. The after credits was just like, you know what? Sometimes believe. Sometimes you just have to believe. Believe. So yeah, I'm definitely a believer of what they're trying to sell. I really hope we get a sequel and hopefully get better writers for this movie moving on. And I just want to see other characters in this. I want them to just forget all this side characters, side mission. Let's give me the Gree. Just give us Gree. Give us wrestling if we have to. Just give us what we want. But on that note, I would give this film, I'm going to give the same rate, Marcus, as T, a 7 out of 10. I still think people will enjoy this movie besides all its flaws.
No, it's a good rating. It's a great rating. Me being, when I'm not sensible, it's going to be a 20 out of 10.
What? You know, she's biased. We know this.
Me being biased, it's a 20 out of 10. Beautiful movie, beautiful. Like, it took me to another planet, especially as the year is closing, to end on a high. This was a great way for DC to end on, and it's gonna do well. It's a really fun film to watch. You don't have to be an avid, comic book reader to know. You can still be a casual. Even if you just love the Rock, you're still gonna love it. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what the main goal was for this, was to sell Black Adam to newcomers, people who don't know who he is and what his franchise or his storyline is. And I feel like that over-delivered a lot. And it's not just the movie, the marketing, the planning, everything, to make you really buy into this new journey that Dwayne Johnson wants to take us on. But when I'm being critical, and when I'm being sensible, I'm gonna give it 8.99 out of 10.
8.99.
Right, easy. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sensible when I want to be.
How much did Warner Bros pay you for that one?
First of all, I, despite its flaws, I thoroughly love this movie. I'm gonna go watch it another 4 or 5 times, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. And I'm still gonna have that joyous feeling every single time I watch it. We're gonna end it here.
Yes.
We hope you enjoyed this lengthy review. Please make sure you let us know in the comment sections down below how you found Black Adam, if you have or have not, if you have watched it already. Once again, thank you so much to Warner Brothers for the opportunity of allowing us to watch the movie early. Make sure you go, subscribe to this channel, Tayo's channel, Steven's channel. We'll have it all down in the link down below. If you didn't know, it's NNESAGA to the world and back. And we will see you in the next one. Peace.